due to the serious nature of this video and others that will follow, and those who have been done before in this series, I need to address that in most cases this is all alleged. My opinions and observations in regard to the K-pop and K-drama industry are mine alone. I and another who wishes to remain anonymous assisted in the research and gathering of the information discussed in this video. Please see the description for resources. Thank you. Oh, the Burning Sun scandal rocked, shook the K-pop, K-drama world. Let's get into that. Hi everybody, it's me, Dee. Welcome to my channel, and I hope you are doing well. I'm hanging in there. I've had a very, very long week where I was stressed, preparing, going over stuff for a disability hearing that ended up being canceled just a few hours before it was to start because the poor judge, unfortunately, he was ill and unable to find someone to step in as a substitute. So yeah, it's been postponed. And I'm nervous. So I was unable to, because I was so focused on that, I was unable to really be able to do any kind of tarot reading, to focus on things. I was focused. What I did do is you kind of see things are a little different. I'm in a different room. And so this week it's been reorganizing and sorting and decluttering, getting rid of older stuff, seeing what I want to keep and not, which was actually very, very, very therapeutic. But I am glad to be here. If you are new here, hello, yes. I am going to get into the tarot reading about this K-pop scandal. But first I will talk about a little bit about what the Burning Sun scandal is, what it consisted of, and yeah. But you can, of course, if you're new here, I always put chapter links down below so you can skip to whichever part of this video you would prefer to watch first, or whatever. It's up to you. I'm here to hook you up with that. Also, this is very serious what I'm going to be talking about. And if you have experienced things such as sexual assault, if you have been recorded and videos put out there of a sexual nature that you did not consent to, this can also be very, very triggering for you. And what happens and what we are learning more and more, what was going on in this industry in the background, is horrifying. Now, is every agency like this and everybody involved in the K-pop industry agency? No, they're not. It's kind of like here we got our Harry Weinstein. Not all producers out there are, well, we've been cleaning them out, haven't we, over here? But not everyone is like that. And so I want to clarify, I love K-pop music. I love, I've been getting into some K-dramas. I love it. It's part of, the part of the music I just really love. And the people there, I really just appreciate the idols and all their hard work. And I want to make that clear that, I am a fan. Okay. And yeah, so this is really hard to go into. So we're going to start how everything started to fall into place, and all the secrets going behind the scenes at this nightclub, and you're going to find out it goes further beyond all that. You're going to find out just how horrible these women were treated my previous video, we talked about another actress and her apparent suicide and how it revealed so much, and Madam Shim trying to allegedly cover up by distracting people with other different kinds of scandals. The very first video was about Madam Shim and who she was. So if you need to watch any of that, I do have the playlist for this series, the Darkside of K-pop, K-drama. This is just going into more current, what happened and how its effect to this day was happening. And yeah, I'm prepared. We can do this, folks. We can do this. I can. So let's get into it. All right, thank you for sticking around, my friends. Hello, we are really going to get into this, and I'm, but we're going to do this, all right? So, picture this. The Burning Sun nightclub in the elite district of Gangnam, and this club is supposed to be the most elite to get into and to be at. All right, picture this club, and a young man sees a woman being assaulted sexually right there in the club. He steps in and tries to help this woman, but instead of being a hero, when police arrive, this young man was arrested. You see, the police were trying to keep things silent and discredit this would-be hero. Now, this man, he did the opposite. He wasn't going to remain silent. And his determination ended up exposing corruption, trafficking, and quite a few non-consensual acts and videos being shared. So, let's see how it all went down, folks. You see, this club was actually owned, and when I go to show, we're going to look into see who's involved. This club, Seungri of Big Bang is one of the directors. Okay, and he got involved in this messy scandal, and you're going to find out why he was arrested and serving time and what's going on. It's like, wow. But this club was probably known as Seungri's club. This was his. And, here he is, Big Bang, such a prominent group that broke records that, just led a path for other K-pop groups such as BTS to be known and to be able to, expand past Korea and out to the rest of the world and becoming famous. So this is really alarming what had happened. And so when this happened at the club, we end up learning some truly horrific things that have been happening. Now, this happened in November of 2018. However, because police officials, allegedly, but hey, let me tell you, the dirty cops, it was like, they were shifting them out because they were all involved in this to silence the man who was trying to protect a woman who was being assaulted at this club. And you're like, well, why would this happen? Well, things started coming out about this in January 28th of 2009 when NBC News alleged an assault against a male clubgoer at the Burning Sun Club. Um, you know, what happened to him, that he was arrested for what happened in November. And all of a sudden, people started looking at this, the Seoul Metropolitan, I can talk, police agency. And they ended up finding out a whole lot, that this club was involved in drug trafficking, police corruption, prostitution, and incidents they found went dated as far back as 2015 and 2016. Like, fuck, this is not good. This should not have ever happened, but it did. Now, this is so hard. What you're going to find out here, what I'm going to go into here is this little scandal just started making the Korean entertainment industry look bad. Hold on, my cat wants to get out. Sorry, I'm in a room where I close the doors. There's glass French doors, and the cats like to let me in or let me out. Anyway, you see, NBC News Desk, they reported this. This is what they said. A clubgoer stated that he was trying to help a woman who was being harassed sexually. But when he tried to help, the staff assaulted him. Now, when the police arrived, he was arrested for 7 different charges. Some of them including an indecent act, defamation. It's just like mind-blowing here. Now, he got also not just assaulted by the staff, but the police. So what came about is he was like, oh, hell no. Hell no. I am not going to remain silent. This is not good. So he raised his voice and he did a petition and managed to get over 200,000 signatures demanding this to be investigated, getting this known, getting this out there. And this just ended up being huge, this scandal. 5 major entertainment companies saw huge losses because of how their involvement in with this. The stocks also dropped for 3 major. We're talking YG, SM, and JYP. Boom. Now, there were some others like Cube and FNC. They're not as big, okay? But they were affected also. Now, it didn't just affect K-pop, but there were actresses like Go Jun and Han Hyo-ju that were being accused of being part of this huge scandal. Although later agencies had filed petitions saying these allegations were false. Now, you're going to see all this. There was travelers visiting nightclubs. It just dropped. You weren't getting as much. In fact, the French government warned its citizens visiting South Korea to beware of these nightclubs because of the cases of GHB and drug assaults. They're like, yo, don't go there. A government outside telling their citizens, don't. Be aware. And this ended up affecting a lot of other clubs that were innocent in Gangnam. And everyone started facing a huge losses. South Korea's EDM festivals just chose not to have any parties, which they usually would hold at Burning Sun. They're like, and some of the other clubs are like, no, we don't need that stigma. Heck. So there was so much money loss. But the company that faced the most loss, compared to everybody else, is YG Entertainment. Because many idols were involved in the scandal and were forced to leave retire from the industry. Public reactions. K-pop fans wanted to remove these idols involved in this case, and bands such as Big Bang, Icon, and so on, because they basically ruined the reputation of those bands and of this industry on a whole. And people started becoming skeptical of the police because of allegations of police misconduct and corruption, and it kind of put up a negative picture in their minds. So a lot of hate going on from the fans and demands for justice to find out the truth. Now, basically, in March of 2019, it got further revealed in the media. And mind you, it was not Dispatch who brought this out. If you're familiar with Dispatch, it is, that outlet, news outlet, that has all the celebrity status news. It's posts, catches everybody, coming and going. You can see all the videos of all the celebrities coming and going from the airports. Dispatch reports a lot of, has been the forerunner in reporting a lot of different scandals, secret relationships, you name it. But you find out that Madam Shim is definitely tied into Dispatch and what goes in and out of that site, which we learned in the very first video. So keep in mind, Dispatch did not cover this. They didn't at first, okay? In March of 2009. It was discovered in March because of what took place in January with everything coming out, people investigating, that there were Korean celebrities who were members of a special little private group chat. And in this group chat, they would send pictures illegally of women in sexual situations, even videos. And none of the women knew this was happening. They didn't even know these videos or pictures had been taken in many cases. And they also, the men in this group, we're talking a lot about prostitution and solicitation. Now, Seungri and Woo In-suk were both the members of this group chat. And so this ended up implicating Seungri in multiple crimes that include embezzlement, gambling, solicitation, prostitution, violation of business codes. Yeah, he left his music group, Big Bang, and he went to trial. But you got to find out, him going to trial did not go as he had hoped, and that's a whole other story we'll get into. Now, I'm going to show you just a kind of a diagram here of, an organizational chart showing basically how everyone's connected to Seungri and Madam Shim, okay? So, here we go. Okay, folks. Now, you see Seungri and In-suk on these charts, and you can see how they're connected to Madam Shim, and you see where Madam Shim is connected to them and to all sorts of shit. Okay, let's just call it as it is. This is a lot of shit. You know what? I want to fix my camera a bit because it seemed a little too high. There we go. Now my top of my head's cut off. That's great. Okay, we're good now, huh? Now, you find out that Seungri used prostitutes for himself and CEOs. Now, these CEOs, you could kind of, you could kind of see them in this chart that I have posted. Let me see here. I'm having a hard time seeing it myself, so I got to enlarge it. Bear with me, folks. Anyway, you see he's connected to also Madam Lin. Do not confuse Madam Lin with Madam Shim, okay? Madam Shim, she is the one who has connections to Dispatch, Naver, and you're going to learn the Gangnam Police Department. Oh, honey. How is she go? Now, She gets connected to what Madame Lin is doing through her connection to Seongri. Now, she is actually the club owner of Burning Sun and a monkey museum, which Seongri is also co-owners of them. Okay, now Yonin Suk, he is the former CEO of Yuri Holdings. Yang Hyuk Suk is the founder and former owner of YG Entertainment. Now, it has come out that he was one of the CEOs that was involved in all this, and he was pushed away. Now, have you noticed that YG Entertainment has been trying to create Black Label and trying to push their artists over to this other label instead of going under YG Entertainment? YG Entertainment, that name is not as acceptable. They have tried to hide this whole scandal. Icon, BI was involved, and it's so complicated. And Lee Jong-hyun, an ex-member of CM Blue. Now, Madam Lin, honey, this bitch, she was running a prostitution ring, allegedly, drug trafficking, just like Madam Shim does. Okay, so there's similarities here, folks. So I can see why some people might get a little bit confused, but they are very different people. Now, I'm trying to think. Do I want to go over this part? No, we're going to get into this. Okay, so you find out the charges that Seongri, he used the prostitutes for himself, as I said, and for the CEOs. CEOs I mentioned of, former founder of YG Entertainment and the others. I can't remember their names. I just mentioned it. You saw it. We're good, right? We're good, right? I'll put the chart back up. Now, he also is connected for using prostitutes for Lee Jong-hoon, connected him with prostitutes, and Yang Hyun-suk connected him with prostitutes. Now, he got all these prostitutes through Burning Sun, and they were for the Burning Sun investors. So anybody who, the investors were deeply involved in this. They used the services. Now, when some girls got called in for questioning, police questioning, they described it as an escort service, adult entertainment that was happening. They were very much groomed to not call themselves, say this is prostitution, or any kind of sexual, especially non-consensual acts were even happening. Sadly, just like in Madame Shim's case, many of these prostitutes were young, hopefuls of trying to get into acting or singing, dancing, K-pop, K-drama industries. They were trying to get into this business. And, well, Seungri used these women as prostitutes for CEOs that invested in his businesses. Oh, man. Now, they also had that group chat. And, boy, public slander in the police investigations ended up bringing us all to trial, but this did not happen the way they expected. You see, Lee Jong-hyun saw and talked about illegal videos and also arranged for a prostitute for another man, Jong-young. Now, he was asking like, oh, what type of woman do you want? And, is there a specific type? And how long, kind of getting this. Now, he got removed from CN Blue, but the media didn't really pay attention to it. It was not as intense. Like he was like, an afterthought. So you don't even hear about any mention of the police bringing him in and being interrogated. None of that. And it was, why was he so silent? Well, he's definitely connected to Madam Shim, who controls dispatch and, the police department. You want to know how she works with the police department? Well, them corrupt officers, the ones who were corrupt, one who tried to speak up, you're going to find out he mysteriously died. But to protect, he was standing up against the corrupt officers. Yeah, that didn't, unfortunately, yeah. His life, and it's a big cover up there, too. But you see, Madam Shim was providing these officers with drugs and prostitutes to keep them quiet. I mean, think about it. She's giving them what they want this, and if she reveals, she can have stories leaked about them and still protect herself because she runs just about everything in the background and has so many connections, ties into the industry and the government. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah. Now, Dispatch did come out and actually said that one man received foreign prostitution services while all this was coming down. And it was kind of like to distract what was happening. And Burning Sun, there was all the drugs were there. And as I said, Madam Lynn was, she was really big into drugs and having also ties with the police. And she managed to get good cops transferred off the case. She did. So that's how she was able to try and keep things silent, keep from getting, charges sent. But that didn't necessarily work out. And the police commissioner ended up announcing that the entire force is going to be investigated for corruption. Superintendent Yoon of the Gangnam Police Department was arrested for obstruction of evidence dealing with this case and for being in contact with defendants. He gave tips ahead of different crackdowns. That's how the club was able to remain going for as long as it had. 2 women thought to be prostitutes for Seungri's investors were called in, and they tried to say that they never provided sexual services. They had been affected by this, superintendent and trying to keep everything quiet. Now, Seungri's trial was moving very slowly. But you see, he also was supposed to be, at the same time, getting to the time where he would need to enlist in the military. Now he thought, hey, I know, I'll listen to the military. I'm going to be in the military. Now you can't keep coming after me because I'm with the military. Well, the military court said no. They ended up running a trial. Oh, yeah. But he was only sentenced to 3 years for all these charges. And both sides have been filing appeals. But he also ended up in military prison. I cannot imagine that being good. But his way of thinking, hey, I'll get out of this, didn't work out so well. Oh my gosh. Now, Lee Jong-hyun used prostitutes from the service and his friends with Seungri. And he also worked with Madam Shim. And she, for 4 years now, she'd been running a prostitution services, and she had been funneling her prostitutes into Burning Sun, and Madam Lynn was all part of it also. And yeah. Now, he's the one that connected Madam Shim and the people involved with Burning Sun. He's the one that could connect. We get the connection. And he began feeding, informing, of Madam Shim's 10% girls were into the Burning Sun Corporation. Now, these 10% girls we talked about in the first video, okay? And these are poor women that she's taken advantage of who want to break into the industry. Whoo! Yeah. Now, Linui is a fashion brand that Madam Shim owns, And so if you see celebrities supporting it, it's kind of like, okay. But Lee Jong-hyun was known to support this industry brand. And in 2012, and that's when he got his first acting role. So he came out, he's supporting her. So you kind of like, she would help, if you're going to make it, you're going to make it. If you're going to fail, you're going to fail. If she wants you to make it, you're going to make it. If she doesn't want you to, you're not going to. That's very much allegedly what we're seeing here. And all of a sudden, boom, and now he's got his first acting. And in 2019, it came to light that he was using prostitutes all the way back in 2016 via Burning Sun Gate. Yeah, the club. Yeah, man. But he was hardly ever mentioned in the headlines. And it was all like covered up. And his connection to Madam Shim is probably why it was covered up. Because she controlled so much of the media and the police and prosecution. So why was she protecting him? It looks like she was protecting him, doesn't it? Yeah. Now, 10%, I mentioned the 10% girls. This is the prostitution ring that Madam Shim runs. And surprisingly enough, Dispatch released an article about a man using these foreign prostitutes to deter suspicion from Madam Shim's ring. So they were like, oh, I mentioned the whole foreign prostitutes, didn't I? Yes. They were saying they're not Korean women. This is, oh boy, look at this scandal. And it was hoping to just get the attention away from her and people not focus on her activities. Now, before Seungri ended up being tried, Madam Shim was also pulling. The reason why he had so many delays is because she was pulling the strings in favor. She wanted to keep this prostitution ring, the drug trafficking, all of that quiet. And she knew if he's tried and he gets on the trial, there is no way it's going to remain silent. And Madam Shim lost all control of what would happen in Seungri's trial when he was tried in the military courts. What he thought would get him away from being tried, it backfired in the most beautiful way. So it didn't matter what she could do anymore because she could not control what happened in the military courts. So, yeah, so she ended up losing that power. So many people have been injured and defamed. As I mentioned, one officer, he has mysterious death. They tried to calculate to a suicide, but he was an officer. He was trying to stand up and speak out against the corruption and help, get these people prosecuted. And he ended up mysteriously dead. Now, we're going to get into a video about a bunch of, I'll cover more of these deaths because at the end, you're going to see how they all are connected to this one person. And it's scary. When I have been doing videos and having visions of this one woman, I kept seeing this powerful woman, and I really believe that this powerful woman that I kept seeing in the background doing these horrible things behind the doors in dark rooms, that it's Madam Shim, and it could be Madam Lin too. There's probably more than just one person, but this is one person who has been so powerful and for so long was able to control and manipulate so much. It's just the corruption and her power is unheard of. And people are wondering where she is now. I mean, is she still alive? What's happened? She's kind of gone into some seclusion. And I don't blame her. But do I think she, if she's alive, I don't think she's not causing trouble. I believe she's still there, behind the scenes. So, okay, we got into this. I know this was a whole lot, and you just kind of went over your head somewhat, and I'm sorry. I hope my little organizational chart, up here helped you, so that you kind of see just these connections and how this one person just has so much power. Mind you, this is all alleged. I keep saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it. All right, folks, let's get into this reading. Hello, everybody. We're going to get into the tarot part in the psychic reading. I'm not sure how this is all going to go. I'll see, if I start seeing things, then I will, bring that up, and we'll do the psychic part too. If I get it, we'll find out. I am nervous, but remember that this video is for entertainment purposes, and everything here is alleged. Are we ready? I think I am. Oh, folks. All right, I'm using my haunted house deck. Just this deck really is good to me. All right, let's see here. What else is going on? Okay, so anybody in this scandal who possibly was committed suicide, this card is telling me it was not a suicide, it was a murder. Okay, the person was killed for a purpose. That's just first card. So yeah. Okay, so the Queen of Cups here is reversed, and the Chariot. All right, so what I'm seeing here is Madame Shim is definitely allegedly behind these deaths, the ones that were being accused of suicide, especially. Okay, the Queen of Cups is someone who manipulates a lot with them. People's emotions and plays on it, and it's very cruel. So I'm kind of sensing that this is probably representing her in these readings, allegedly. I don't need nobody trying to come after me illegally about stuff. From my understanding, this is what I believe to be true, and I can say that. Now, this person, so perverse, just so doesn't know how to have emotions, knows how to play with and manipulate emotions, wants to try and appear as the victim. The Chariot being reversed, her things, she is not able to move. It's like this scandal really did put a halt to a lot of what she was doing and a lot of what was happening behind the scenes. She's not being able to maintain the control. It's all fizzling out around her. There's a sense of panic and stubbornness of I'm just sensing, I can still get away with all this. Now, the Ace of Cups, interesting that it's over, because this is about new opportunities, I'm thinking, coming out. So I think in spiritual intuition, something new, something, I think I know what's going on here. I know I'm going to pull out another card. Okay, yeah, and the Two of Pentacles. Okay, yeah. So there is, okay, so this is struggling to find balance again, finding that control, balancing the funds, and trying to start fresh, trying to start new. I see that she's trying to start new. But the Seven of Wands over here, especially under the Chariot. Now, see, the woman is fighting off things. She's got all the fiery wands pointed at her. She is trying to just maintain control. She is trying to still maintain this control. I think she's like trying to make a new identity, a new herself, to create a new beginning for herself, so that she can continue. Let's see here. Woo! Okay. The Ten of Swords. Failure. Collapse. She's going to get stabbed in the back. She's been stabbed in the back. It's going to get worse. Somebody in her inner circle. Oh, yeah. When I said somebody in her inner circle, the Two of Cups, somebody who she is intimate with. I'm going to say this could be a love relationship. I'm thinking it might be with another woman and not a man that is going to be doing this. She's got some kind of bond with this person, and they are seeing her for who she is, and I think is gonna, yeah, the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles, this is, this person is trying to secure, make things secure, take its power. It's creating stability. This is guarding one's possessions. Oh my gosh. Madam Shim sees all these people as possessions, and this other person sees this, and it's going to stab her in the back. She's like, no, no, you can't keep treating people. I'm not that special, am I? She's starting to see the Eight of Wands, and with this, which we're seeing is there is going to be this is fast stuff happening. This is a new movement is going to come up. The K-pop world, I kept seeing this year is going to be shooken up, and we're starting to see that with Omega X, with what's his name, Isu, the one actor and singer. He was told he was a negative, making his business, his concert, everything was in a negative, so he was robbed of millions, and he's suing now. Good on him. What was it? It was Hook Entertainment that he was part of. That CEO was another woman who was very horrible, and she was removed. Yeah, I'm seeing that this is gonna things are gonna happen fast before Madam Shib could take the control. We got the Four of Swords upright here, and you see this woman is just laying here in this bed. She's contemplating. She's like overwhelmed. She is needing to just retreat. Madam Shim, this is Madam Shim feeling this. She is afraid of losing all of this, all of her luxury, all of that she has with the Ten of Pentacles. This is just, ambition, and it's having a legacy and comfort, and yeah, I think Madam Shim was thinking of passing on her business and allowing someone to inherit it. Card I just saw over here flipped out. Yeah, so but we have the Seven of Cups, dealing with a lot of regrets. There's like missed opportunities, not, there's an addiction to drugs, too many choices, can't settle down. This is all going to be coming out. And then the Five of Pentacles popped out here too, and this was reversed. So there is this is an end to uh, um it's like debts are going to get paid off. She's going to be paying people back the money. That's this new movement that I see. There's going to be recovery of um finances and luck. They're going to be, there's these idols who have lost so much. It's coming back to them. Ooh, okay. And then I have here the Hermit reversed. This is lost way, withdrawal, trying to isolate. This is Madam Shim and these others, they're going to try and just, some of the CEOs and government officials and police, this like trying to just become hermits to hide away for their own reasons, not to better themselves. We're going to see restoration of things for people in the K-pop and K-drama industries as ways of corruption is found. And I'm seeing that there will be justice. I'm seeing that as something definitely happening. I'm pulling out the Letterman deck. Okay, so the first card here is number 2, which is it's luck. So let's see what kind of luck we're going here and who this luck is for, whether it's good luck or bad luck. This card is also the 6 of diamonds, and it represents the symbol that represents luck is clover in this one. And this also could be about gambling. So, maybe the gambling ring, something's going to come up. Yeah, the death of it. Yeah. Well, and focusing on Madam Shim and those others like her and what they've been doing. And it's like 8. Here's the sarcophagus right next to luck. So this means this is finally this cycle of corruption is coming to an end. It's been slow going, like a snail, folks. Put. But it's gonna happen. Yeah. And then here's the moon. The 8 of hearts. It's card 32. The moon often, makes you think of mystery and it's intuition, emotions. So this is a lot about reputation and how people are perceived by others. And the card that popped out with it is the 10, which is the Jack of Diamonds, and it's the scythe. So basically, this person, there is a lot of abuse going to be coming out. This person is going to become known as an abuser. It's going to be there's going to be some kind of accident that's going to cause somebody in danger, and it's going to come out. And this is going to bring things tumbling down. This person, yeah, I'm going to put the... So, bad luck is what we're seeing for these corrupt people. Because here's the sun. And the sun is going to be success in ending all this. It's 31. It's the Ace of Diamonds. The sun is about revealing stuff. It's also celebration. This is positive outcome. So while other people are having bad luck, it's for the good for others. And we got to keep, that's key here. So there is hope for, in all this darkness, there is hope, folks. And things are going to change. And 23 here is under the moon. 23, you see the little mices. This is the 7 of clubs. This, you see how they're just eating away at things? They're taking away. This is stress. This is fear. This is the car. Seven of Clubs is the house of anxiety and losses. So, this person, all their success is going to be eaten away. Allegedly, Madam Shim and anybody else who's, and these other people who have been creating slave contracts in the K-pop and K-drama industries, abusing of their powers, trafficking people, sex, drugs, you name it. This is all going to be coming to light. We're going to see a lot happening, more happening as this year goes on. And so, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you appreciate the reading. Please comment down below what your thoughts are, which else you want to see me cover. And, yeah, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And folks, most importantly, remember, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. I love y'all. Bye.